Welcome back to Bruins game reactions. Boston Bruins lose 4-1, 2-1 to the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was 2-1 heading into the final 2 minutes. Tampa gets an empty net goal. Tampa then gets a power play, rolls out their top unit, and just stomps Boston 4-1. This game was closer than it seemed, believe it or not. Can this team win a game for Jeremy Swayman, please? Like, his save percentage isn't going to look good after that third goal that he allowed, rather. Win one for him, man. Like, this guy's doing the splits 2 and 3 times a game, and it's for nothing, unfortunately. I don't know. I'm disappointed. I get this team wasn't meant to be great. They were still arguably should have been a playoff team if everyone was performing up to their contracts, and I get it. That's not always going to happen. Seems like no one is. Pastrnak, no. He's barely at a point per game. I think he's 3 points off a point per game pace right now. You would expect him to have, what, point per game would be 44, I think this is. Wow, I've made almost 45 videos on these. Wow. Yeah, so point per game would be 44 points. I think he's at 40. He might just be at 40. You want him to be at 53, 54. No, that, 1.25, that's a little high for him. Maybe 49 to 53. Somewhere in that range you want Pastrnak to be. Marchand, he's been good. I don't have any real complaints with him. He's getting older. They need someone to carry the torch for them. Pastrnak and Marchand should, in theory. But Marchand's getting older. He needs to pass it on to someone else. Yeah, no. Tampa gets a shorthanded goal. Mason Lohrei was the only guy back. Tampa then gets a 2-on-1 a couple minutes later with 49 seconds left in the second period. Mason Lohrei again, only guy back. It was a 1-on-1 though. You want to save from Swayman on that second one. That's the only one I have an issue with, really. Yeah, man. I mean, this game was a rocky start to finish. No, not even start to finish. The final 5 minutes of that second period cost them this game. Unfortunately, it's crappy that 5 minutes can cost your team a game, considering how well you started that third period, but that's what happens, unfortunately, and that's hockey in this year of 2025. I don't know. I think this team needs to come out of retool mode and make a trade. For who? I don't know. They've been linked to Brock Nelson, Elias Pettersson, TJ Miller. TJ Miller? JT Miller. Sorry, JT Miller. I don't know, man. I mean, you're asking one guy to do it all, and he can't, unfortunately. Now, to be fair, has he done much this season? No, in David Pastrnak. But this game has drained me emotionally. Mason Lohrei scored the lone Bruins goal, but obviously, first 2 goals being his fault, and him being in the box for Tampa's fourth goal, just not great. Witherspoon and Peak might have been the best two defensemen out there. Like, closest to net zero. Nikita Zadorov was throwing his weight around, had, I think, 8 hits in this one. 8 out of the 30 Boston had, give or take. Last I saw was 27. I'm sure that number went up in the final 2 minutes. I don't know. I mean, you're not moving the Zadorov contract. You're not moving the the Elias Lindholm contract. How many years does Hampus have left? I don't want to say it. Hampus Lindholm might be the guy to get the gun here. Unfortunately, no. He's still got a couple years left. He might not. I don't know. That's the issue with signing these guys to big money. Long term, lock them up. You get left with this, unfortunately. You're paying $9.5 to McAvoy, $11.5 to Pasta, $8.5 to Swayman. Which, I mean, realistically, you should probably be doing. It's just the $6.5 to Lindholm, to Hampus Lindholm. I get it. Why am I mad at Hampus Lindholm? I don't know. It's not his fault that he took a puck off the knee. Well, it's kind of his fault. It's not his fault directly that he took a puck off the knee and it shattered his kneecap. He's not going to be perfect coming back either. Mark my words on that. You sign Lindholm, Elias Lindholm, and Nikita Zadorov to, what, I think a combined $14 million. That's way too much. I would love to know who the second highest bidder was in that. Yeah, I mean, Mark Kaslick was kind of invisible for this one. I didn't even hear the broadcast mention his name until maybe the halfway through the third period. I would assume that he played, but I mean that's not a bad thing, right? Coming from your fourth line, if they're not scoring, they're not being a liability defensively. That's good. That's what you want out of your fourth line. You need more from your top six. And that is Marchand, that is Pasternak, that is Lindholm, that is Coyle, that is Zacha, that is Geeky. Who else would that be? Geeky, Pasternak, Elias Lindholm, Marchand, Coyle, Zacha. That's 6. Okay. You need more from those 6 guys. I get it. You're going to look at the Bruins' numbers for the season and you're going to say, oh, well, 4 of them are top 4 in Bruins scoring. That's cool. The bar is not high. That's not the bar. The bar is Pasternak should be at about 50 points, if not more. Marchand should be... I don't know. Marchand should be at about 35, 38 maybe. He's a great player. He's just not the point scorer player that he was in the past. Point scorer, if you want to call it that. He's the guy that you put out there to annoy the other team while your big 2 guys go to work. And the big 2 guys for him are Elias Lindholm and Charlie Coyle. I don't know how he's expected to do work with that. Yeah, I mean, Oliver Wahlstrom had a couple chances. Mason Lohrei had a couple chances. Converted on one. Passes just aren't getting through. There was a practice the Bruins had. I don't know if it was before... Would have been before their Edmonton game. They ended practice with another group hug. That's cool when you're winning. No, not when you're losing. Yeah. I don't know. There isn't a ton to say about this team, unfortunately. This is something that cannot be addressed right now. Kinda could be addressed right now, but you're looking at a blockbuster trade. And that's going to include, unfortunately, sending out McAvoy, Lindholm, Zadorov, or Lindholm. Either one of the Lindholms. I mean, I don't want to, but I mean, you're stuck at 80. What is it? 84 and a half? I think 80. No, it's 88 and a half. Is it not? I think it's 88.5 million. Just not good enough. See, I wanna say you call someone up, but then who's been like? Boy, I need to look into this more. I don't even know who's been sitting to see who you could send down, because Wallstrom's gonna need waivers. And I would imagine Boston's climbing towards the top of that list, so they're going to be reset down to the bottom now. So odds are he's going to get claimed. Yeah. There isn't a ton else to be said, really. I just checked on my phone after my camera cut out. I'm pretty sure I went on for another 7-8 minutes after the camera cut. Jordan Osterley and Mark McLaughlin have been sitting. Those have been the two extras, or two scratches, rather. Change it up, man. I put Mark McLaughlin in. Take someone out. Like, try something. You can't just do... I mean, it's insanity. That's what it is. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And it's not working. You can't just mess with the 12 guys that you have on this team, on this forward core. Not to mention, by the way, it's been over a calendar month. How did I forget this? Oh, this was a big point in today's game. It's been over a calendar month since Boston has got a defensive goal? A goal from a defenseman. I knew it was long. I didn't think it was a calendar month long. So, I don't know. Maybe that begs the question then, who is it actually? Is it the forwards? Is it the defense? Is it both? It's realistically probably both. Is it the goaltending? Well, the goaltendings look pretty good, for the most part. The scoreboards will not show that, but they've looked pretty good. Swayman has looked almost elite these past two games. And has, I think 6 goals against to show for it, unfortunately. That's the unfortunate reality. Man, this team is so screwed. It's not even funny. Yeah, I mean, this team is screwed for the future. Because if you buy, you're selling draft picks. So you're going more into win now. If you sell, then you're closing your door for the future for now, at least. Unless you're selling off the roster to go out and get a big free agent, Brad Marchand might be the headliner of this free agent class. He's not going to be around forever either. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's going to do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. Click like if you like. Click subscribe if you really liked. And if you're not a Bruins fan, enjoy this. There's no telling how long this will last. And if you're a Bruins fan, hopefully you've made it this far in the video. Join me as we go through this rough stretch of Boston Bruins history.